was going to adjust. Hey, everybody. Preppers want. I want to adjust. I was going to adjust this, but it's actually this that I have to adjust. So, oh my God, that's too funny because I'm seeing myself on camera and I'm like, well, that's kind of not right. And I don't want to mess with it too much because it'll kick it offline, and that's never good. So we're just going to leave it alone. It's good enough. So welcome everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. Um, so who we got here? Kathy's in the house. Janet's here. Dale from Ohio. Of course, JJ's here. Carol Prince. Jason M. Schmidt. So welcome everybody. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope your week is starting out well. We got the garden life is here. Jenny's here. Beef and chicken. Mar. Lorraine Chavez. Sonia Klein. Whiskey Tango Foxtrots in the house. So welcome everybody. Before we get started, yes, I know I see you. There's my boy. We actually put him up here because he likes to get up on there. Both of them actually do. I want to remind everybody before we get started that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you cannot abide by those very simple, easy rules, those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches are going to boot you out of here. There he is. Boy. Huh? So, but yeah, he likes to do it and she likes to do it. I got to tell you what he did to me, was it yesterday or the day before? So you guys know, if literally I put this shirt on 5 minutes ago. If I'm just here chilling by myself, I don't ever have a shirt on, especially when it's hot like it has been now. So the other day I was standing here and he decided to climb me, okay? And he was locked in on my back, no shirt, just my skin, and he climbed. No, okay, off of there. Oh, no, here we go. See what you did? All right. He dug in and climbed up onto my shoulders, and oh my God, that hurt. That one really hurt. So orange ones are great for catching mice. Well, he's already got his first one, so he's doing really good. They're good cats. Both of them are really good cats. He's more loving. I mean, she likes her attention too, and they both got good purr boxes. But he is the one that has way more personality. As far as I know, just the one. Did he draw blood? I don't. It was on my back. I can't see, JJ. I'm sure there's scratches back there. You guys should see my legs. So, yeah. Actually, I got a new one today. Just, I don't know if you guys can see, right there. That was, right there. That was from the fencing around the cherry trees. I'm like, oh, that's not good. It was like blood was running down my arm. I'm like, yeah. I mean, I felt myself get poked, but I didn't think anything of it. And then Steve goes, dude, you're bleeding. I go, what? And I look, and I had like the blood was running all down my arm. But oh well, it happens. So anyway, but yeah, it's just they're really good cats, and they're gonna fit in here really well. Like I woke up the other day, and she was above my head, sleeping above my head. So, but all right. So, yeah, I actually, just my group members, when you guys come this month, don't be shocked. I have been in cleaning mode. I just was like, enough is enough. It's it is. I've just been like, I spent 2.5 hours yesterday working in the area over here. So like I have I'll give you an example of one of the things that, so I have the fold out couch, right? So the couch doubles as a bed. All right. So on both ends of it, it has like a cubby hole on both ends. So you can put stuff in there. So I hadn't looked in that side I mean, I've looked in this side over here, but I hadn't looked in the other side in forever. I mean, forever. So I'm in cleaning mode, right? So I'm moving stuff. I'm getting rid of stuff that I don't need, stuff that was going to get burnt, and just other stuff that was going to get thrown out. And so I pull the cushion out, all right, and I had a comforter jammed into that cubby hole, which I had completely forgot. And this is no exaggeration, guys. Okay, I looked in there, and I was like, "What the heck?" So there had to be at least now 6 pounds of dog food in that cubby, in with all of that the comforter. The mice had been taking it and storing it, taking it and storing it, and so I pulled the comforter out. That got burnt. Cleaned out all that dog food that was in there. That all got burnt. I was like, nasty, nasty. So rearranged what I put in there. Now it's all been cleaned. What I put in there now is stuff that's not going to be good nesting material for mice. And now that with the cats, it gives them a whole different thing. But long overdue. My own fault. Just procrastinate and not take. I mean, I had all winter. It was miserable winter. I could have been taking care of stuff all winter, and I didn't do it. So I always like to wait till it's like 90 degrees, and then I'm getting motivated. I don't know why. I just don't ask me, but I've been in cleaning mode, and so when my group members get down here, they're going to be like, "Holy crap!" They're not going to recognize the camper. But like what I said, like even my main area here, okay, it had gotten to a point where it was just cluttered and it was driving me insane. And so, I've been slowly working on cleaning here and there, but I was in like super clean mode yesterday, and I actually did some more today. And as soon as this live stream is over with, I'm going to do some more tonight. So, better late than never. Exactly. So anyway, I wanted to talk, and then we're like 7 minutes into this live stream already, and I haven't talked about squat yet. But we do have. Let's see, we got 148 in the chat already. We only have 48 thumbs up, so that's 1/3, guys. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. Again, I do appreciate that ahead of time. It really does make a huge difference with the algorithms. I thank you for that reason as well. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. Just even outside, if you saw today's earlier video, I was cleaning out around the solar panels, started on the trees, and actually what I ended up doing and I'll just you'll see it in an upcoming video, but what I actually ended up doing is those 3 trees that I have over here, the cherry trees, I pulled the fencing and everything out. I'm just like, I've had them in there now for like 3 years. Deer shouldn't be coming up this close to the camper anyway because of the dogs and stuff like that. So I think that it's okay to do what to unfence those. Now everything else is staying fenced. Everything in the upper meadow, all the stuff over here by the chicken coop, that's all going to stay fenced. It's all going to get cleaned out, but it's all going to stay fenced. So just really trying to get things more squared away, slowly and steadily, and that's kind of the game plan. All right, so a lot of strange things going on. Obviously the big one, you look at the certain events that have happened recently, right? We can go with North Carolina, we can go with Tennessee, we can now go with Texas. And I know some people are going to say weather modification. I'm not going to say that on here because I don't want to be accused of spreading misinformation. That's not what I'm going to do. I have my opinion on it as well, and it's probably going to be similar to a lot of yours. But you're looking at events that are catastrophic. Now, guys, catastrophic events have happened throughout mankind. Those things are going to continue to happen. Could it be weather modification? Could it just be an anomaly? I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not going to make that call, but I do know it doesn't look normal. Obviously, when you have, when a river rises 27 feet, in a very short period of time. And here's the other thing about that situation that I love, and it was cleared up by somebody else. They're like, well, see, look at they, all those cuts that they did. There were the Democrats, right, were blaming the cuts, with Doge, that they cut all these jobs, and so this is why there wasn't enough people on to notify people and stuff like that. Well, that has already been proven to be a falsehood. It was double the normal amount of people that was on. So, and there was some warnings, but just obviously not early enough. So some people were able to escape in time. Unfortunately, now that number's already over 90, and there's still more people missing. That camp with all those little girls and stuff, just horrific. 8 and 9 year old little girls. They found, I read this one, that they found these two sisters. They were, very young. Both of them were young, still holding each other's hands, and they were both gone. And I just that one broke my heart, because you think about, I'm not letting my little sister go, and that's what it was. The older sister, who was also very young, uh, you know, it's just terrible, terrible, terrible situation. And my heart goes out to those people. I couldn't even imagine. Again, those two sisters were 11 and 13. Okay, yeah, but they're young. They're young girls. I mean, those, that's just, it's heartbreaking, guys. I mean, it's just absolutely. And I couldn't even. I want you to think about this. You're part of the rescue crew, and you're looking for survivors, and you come across these bodies of these young kids. It's just got to be. It's got to be horrible. It's just a horrible, horrible situation. And again, putting yourselves in situations now. Is this a normal thing? Does this happen all the time there? It doesn't. Okay, so obviously not expected, and so it's a freak thing that happened, but just a terrible situation. I want to talk about a couple of things. Okay, I want you to think. So, talking about strange things that are going on, and I wanted to really bring this up, to kind of show what I'm talking about. Who remembers? And I want you to think about, when was the last time you heard anything. Okay, so we're going to go back in time a little bit. Now, I want you guys to think about what was going on when the well. Okay, so we're talking what was going on around the world when the pandemic hit. We're going to do a little history stuff here, and I'm going to talk about stuff. And there is no coincidences, in my opinion. Okay, no coincidences, in my opinion. So, who remembers what was going on around the world, around the entire world, several different spots, when the pandemic hit? And it changed everything, right? It changed everything. Oh, there we go. We got somebody here who's a smart one. Unrest. A lot of unrest. Let me ask you this. So we're gonna go, like step kind of by step with this. When was the last time you heard anything about Hong Kong, guys? About freedom for Hong Kong, right? When the pandemic was getting ready to hit, or was hitting, right? They were up there. There were, we want independence. We don't want to be part of China. China was, going to take them back within a certain period of time. China has been starting to exert pressure, and so, there was all that. We, the United States of America, did a ton of business with Taiwan because it was not part of China, right? A lot of investments over there, a lot of all that type of stuff. Yeah, what about East Palestine, Ohio, Texas derailment? Exactly, Alex. There's another one. So, pandemic hits, nobody says anything. China goes in and shuts it down. What did you just drop down? Oh, you're just right there. Okay. Um, China shut it down. Not one protest from anybody, not one country around the world made any kind of stink about that. So China went in, took Taiwan back over, end of story. Or Hong Kong, I'm sorry, Hong Kong, right? Yeah, Hong Kong. Why am I keep saying Taiwan? I'm not talking Taiwan. Hong Kong, I apologize. I'm thinking ahead. Taiwan's coming up, guys. But Hong Kong, I'm sorry, yes, it was Hong Kong. A lot of protests. They wanted their freedom. Pandemic hits. The whole world basically locked down, right? People bought into that whole thing, locked down, did what they were told, and all that. We all know the history of all of that, so we're not going to get into all of that. But those protests in Hong Kong stopped. Boom, dead. China went in, shut it down. What do you think they did to all those people that were protesting? All those people that were causing trouble. What do you think happened to them? Think about it, okay? You don't hear from them anymore. You don't hear from them anymore at all. Um, you look at what was going on in France, okay? The whole yellow vest movement was going on. They were flipping out about gas prices and all that type of stuff. Um, that all went away. I mean, now the government did come out and say we're going to not do whatever they were going to do. Slave camps. That's how China deals with dissidents. Anybody that doesn't go along to get along, China will lock you up. And China has a social credit score, guys. So if you are naughty, according to China, you ain't traveling. There's no way you can go anywhere. So, I mean, there's a whole dynamic to that whole situation. But you look at all over the world, there was a lot of people that were like, hey, this is enough. This is no more of this crap, and they were what happened to Anthony Fauci? Yeah, that's a good question. He's very quietly disappeared, hasn't he? Very quietly disappeared. Um, so you look at those situations like that. Those events happened, and nobody cares anymore. Okay, the public has a very, very short memory, and they don't care. They really don't. You look at the situations, even here in the United States. We get distracted by this. We get distracted by that. Like right now, and rightfully so, a lot of focus is on this situation that's happened in Texas and the terrible devastation and stuff like that. Let me ask you this. Here's a question. Recent, very recent. Have you heard anything about what corruption and theft and stuff the Doge has found recently? Anything? Guys, you hear anything in the news? Right? They were finding all of this corruption and theft and all that type of stuff. What do you hear now about what Doge is doing? And I keep getting a gut feeling that something really bad is going to happen that's going to change everything in America. I can't shake it. Rat Rod Prepper. I understand what you're saying. And I think there's a lot of people that are feeling that there's another shoe getting ready to drop. Yeah, and then all of a sudden the Espen situation is closed as well. Right. So, but you're hearing zero about what Doge is doing. I wonder what they found, what they found. Yeah, you only hear about the rift between Trump and Musk, and I don't believe that's a real rift at all, to be honest. And I've gave you my opinion on that before. Obviously, that's just my opinion, okay? Again, and there's another one. Okie Forge says, or Dale from Ohio. Why aren't we getting this list? They talked about they were going to give us this list of these people that were involved with Espen, right? You're not hearing squat about that. You're not hearing squat about that. So, there are a lot of things that are going on, a lot of things that are happening that were in the big public eye and people were very upset and concerned. Now it's crickets. You're not hearing about it. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff like that. I would be really interested. How much more? And guys, you got to understand, okay? Doge only went into a couple of different departments in the government. They haven't been to them all. So we're talking a very small percentage of what they did and what they're finding And now all of a sudden there's nothing. You hear nothing about it. Why not? Okay. Oh, the big news, of course, a big beautiful bill, and everybody's it's either bad or it's not bad or whatever and stuff like that. But JJ, you want to take care of that child, please? Thank you so much. Um, Probably 15, I would imagine. Just a child. Got nothing better to do, but that's okay. What do we got? 286 in the chat, guys. We're at 99 thumbs up. Again, if you have not shot a thumbs up, I would ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. And I do appreciate that. It really does make a huge, huge difference with the algorithms as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I thank you ahead of time. So here's another one, right? Another one, big in the news, right? Big in the big in the news. You had Puff Daddy there, whatever the hell they call themselves. Sean Combs. We'll go by his real name. They all call themselves different things, but anyway, Sean Combs. All these charges, all this stuff. They raided all these different places where he was, and they only convicted him of 2 minor things with prostitution. That's it. Savage Lee says, Doge saved America tons of money for Israel. Yeah, I hear that. Again, this is somebody that, was looking at like they were going to be spending a tremendous amount of time in prison for the different stuff. And I'm sure the tapes that they were looking for, they probably didn't get them all. And he probably said to him, if you don't work something out with me, I'm going to release him. So I'm sure there's a lot of stuff. People are freaky, guys. People have, oh, he flew away. I got my fly swatter. People have their kinks. They like what they like. And these politicians are probably right up there with the top of that. A lot of strange stuff, but they don't want to be found out. They don't want that information getting out. So, I'm amazed that Sean Combs did not get found guilty. I'll tell you what, DJ, this country likes nothing better. The people in this country like nothing better than to build somebody up, get them up on that pedestal, and then tear them down. I mean, they do it to celebrities all the time. All the time. If you really, okay. So I'm gonna use an example of somebody, and this young lady has a great thick skin. Now, do I agree with everything that she's done or everything that she's said? No, but we're going to talk like Miley Cyrus, okay? Very talented young lady. She knows how to market herself. She reminds me of a lot of Madonna in that aspect. Changes her look, markets herself. People love her, and like, and she'll even say, hey, the people that hate me, they still watch. So it's just like my little fan there. They may hate me, but they still watch, which I don't get that. That's just me. I really don't get that, but again, people want to tear her down all the time. I don't agree with everything that the young lady does, but it's her life and she can do what she wants to do. She ain't hurting anybody, right? She ain't hurting anybody. And all she really does try to do, she helps a lot of people. And I'm telling you what, interacting with fans, that woman is amazing how she interacts with fans. A lot of them, they get a big head and they think that they're all that. And I think that she has stayed fairly grounded in that aspect because she takes the time and she loves her fans and she realizes without her fans that, she wouldn't be where she is. So, but anyway, a lot of stuff like that. But, it's just, there's all these things going on and they're like another one. Let's talk about this one. Okay. What do you think the next conflict is going to pop off around the world? You know what, Alex? There's so many things that could. You just don't know. You just don't know. And it is amazing to me. Okay, and we'll talk about this, but I want to talk about this other thing as well. So Israel was going full force on Iran, right? Munitions, military installations, all that type of stuff. They were focusing on all that. Supposedly, we destroyed their nuclear capabilities, and then it comes out that, well, maybe not. So, are they still capable of doing that? Who knows? Okay, but it's just you were nailing it. So, well, thank you. I appreciate that. But all of a sudden, because Trump says enough, they both stop. Like I've told you guys before, okay, and I really want you to understand this. When I tell you that Iran is not a threat, when I tell you that North Korea is not a threat to the United States, because if either one of those countries stepped out of line, we would turn them into glass, really turn them into glass. They would turn into a parking lot. They cannot beat the United States. Would they have sleeper cells here that could cause damage? Absolutely. Absolutely, they could. Okay. But, the FBI and the CIA and all that, they're monitoring all these type of things a lot, and looking at stuff. And they've made a lot of arrests recently. I don't know if you saw that as well. Some of these groups, they have gone in and taken care of business. Don't think that they don't have people on the inside of some of these groups. If there's a hate group out there, folks, I don't care what color that hate group is, there are either informants in there or there's undercover in there. And that's just a fact. And these guys, they'll do it for years. They'll go undercover for years to get everybody. You look at that. A great example of that would be, I think it was in Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken, but I think it was in Michigan. So there was this group of people, right? They were like a militia. They want to be this militia. So they were all gung-ho and doing all that type of stuff. So this new member comes into the group, right? And he says to them, hey, let's make our weapons full auto, right? Which is highly illegal, and it's a federal crime, okay? You got to go through jumping through hoops to get permission to have full auto weapons. I've actually shot full auto pistol and a full auto machine gun type of thing, but that was at an event that was at a gun range, and you paid XYZ amount to be able to do that, and it was really neat to do. Number one, it was really cool to do, but I would never want any of my weapons to be full auto because you can't control them. Okay. So, but anyway, going back, waste of ammo. Exactly. So anyway, going back to this thing. So at first they went, no, we're not going to go full auto. And this guy kept pushing it here and there, right? Kept pushing it. So finally they go, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So this group, and I think it was like 7, 8 guys, modify their weapons. Now their weapons are full auto. And what happens next? This guy is working for the FBI, right? And what ended up happening was they all got charged federally because it's a federal crime, and they're all in prison. I have if I had somebody come into this group and started talking like that, they're gone, because that's not what we're about. It's not what we're about. So, but it's just okay. So I wanted to make that point. So there are people infiltrated in all of these, anti-government, anarchists, white supremacists, Black Panthers, whatever the group is. There's people in there that are working for the government. Trust me. Al Qaeda, whoever. There's people in there. Another one I wanted to talk about. You don't hear squat about. You haven't heard really squat about it. Everybody, when their brother was up in arms, right? Up in arms. All the poor people in Gaza, terrible. The Israelis are horrible, blah, 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 blah. So what happens, right? What do you hear now? You hear nothing. And they haven't stopped. Israel's gone back in there and they're fighting, right? We built that freaking pier to offload food. A couple of our guys, I think, got killed doing that. And it's terrible. Hey, Josh, 100% World War III is going to happen, and it's going to be a terror like we've never seen. China and Russia are going to ensure we join. We need Israel to help keep the Middle East in check. And thank you very much, Josh, for the statement, and thank you very much for the donation as well. I do appreciate that. I'll tell you, like I've said a million times, Russia is not our problem. They're not a problem to us. The ones you got to watch out for, guys, is China. I've said it now for over 30 years. China's the one. At some point, China's going to feel like they're big enough and they're strong enough. I don't know if you just saw new aircraft carrier just was in Hong Kong, and it's out there now. Newest ship by China, another aircraft carrier. So they have been steadily building up, you know. So you got to think about that, okay? World War III, I would hope that wouldn't happen, to be honest with you. Like I said, nobody wins in a World War III at this point in time. Too many countries have nuclear weapons. Pakistan and India would use them against each other. India will also use them against China because they have beef with China. It's just what has been going on in this country, okay? The amount of money that has been pissed away, and that's what it is. It's being pissed away by our government. And you look at remember when Obama gave all those monies to those green deals? Do you remember all that, when they gave all that money to these companies to, we're going to do green energy and solar panels and blah 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 blah? And most of those companies went under in less than a year later, and they got hundreds of millions of dollars, guys. Hundreds of millions of dollars. What happened to that? Where did that money go? So, there's corruption all over the place on both sides of the aisle. It's never going to stop. It's never going to change. And as soon as people realize that neither party is on our side, they're on their own side. They're on their own side. So they throw us crumbs here and there, right? Throw us crumbs and say, look what we're doing for you. But really, are they? What do we got? 294 in the chat, guys. We got 137 thumbs up. So again, it's less than half. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you please again to do so. What do you think of Russia invading NATO? If that's not going to happen, Alex, I don't think that's going to happen. I'll tell you what I believe will be the most likely scenario of the things that are going to happen, to be honest with you. All right. We'll talk about that in a second. But again, if you haven't shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. Again, I thank you ahead of time. It really does make a big difference with the algorithms. So I thank you for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. He already signed it, Alex. He said, what do you think about the big, beautiful bill that Trump is waiting to sign? He didn't wait to sign it. He's already signed it. He signed it on the 4th of July. I don't know everything that's in the bill. Okay, Alex, I don't. You're talking about, what, an 850-page bill? So I don't know everything that's in the bill. But I do believe that there are probably things that I don't like in the bill. I'm sure there are, but there are some things that I know that I do like that were in the bill. So, they're going to highlight the things, and the Democrats are going to try to cherry pick and say, oh, this is bad or that's bad. They've had huge bills, right? I mean, Biden had a huge one that got passed through in his first 2 years. So, it's a constant game. It's a constant game. And, some of the things are good, some of the things are not. So I read the first 8 pages and I'm done. Yeah, out of 800 and something. So what was I going to tell you? Oh, okay. Likely scenarios giving you strictly my opinion. Okay. My number one thing, and it will either be an inside job or a false flag or whatever the case may be. And I'm not sure, it could be from afar. You don't know. I truly believe that there is an attack coming on our power grid here in the United States of America. I really think that's going to happen. It's just that's our Achilles heel. I've said this before and I'll say this again. Nobody is going to invade America. They would lose, okay? Because we have more guns and more ammo than anybody else, okay? And that's just in civilians' hands. That's just in, so all the bleeding hearts in the cities can complain and guns are bad and blah 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 and try to make laws and restrict and do all this type of stuff. All you're doing is making law-abiding gun citizens go underground, if you will. Okay, that's all you're doing when you do that. That's all you're doing. So I believe that there will be an attack on our power grid, be it a cyber attack. I don't believe it'll be an EMP. It could be sleeper cells, alleged sleeper cells going after power stations. It ain't hard. It ain't hard, okay? If our grid goes down for any length of time, okay, any length of time, it will be absolute anarchy in the United States of America because of the simple fact 93% of the people in this country are not prepared for a 2-week disaster, let alone anything longer. All right. And some of those, that 7%, they're not very prepared either. Okay. You're looking at a situation where there would be insanity. It would be insanity. Okay. So those are things you got to think about. The other likely scenario that could happen, and this is something that could be released by whoever, there could be another virus that would be released that would have a much higher death rate, be a true, like Captain Trips, right? From the Stephen King book. That killed 99% of the people in that one. But, if you had something, and I want you to think about this, we'll even go with a low number. Let's go with a low number. Let's say there was some kind of virus out there that killed 20% of the people. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. That's millions and millions and millions of people, okay? So what would happen in that situation? Who's taking care of all the dead bodies? People would be terrified. People would be in complete panic mode. And again, right, you're trying to shelter in place. You don't want people around you. You don't want people, there that could be possibly sick or anything, but you are not prepared. You don't have any food and water and supplies and things ready. So you're only going to stay in place for so long, and then there's going to be problems, So, those, in my opinion, would be the most likely things, because if there was a much deadlier pandemic, right? Look what happened with this last one that didn't have realistic. Well, we won't get into all that, but look what they did with this last one, and look at the control that people gave up in their rights that they gave up. And they just The Stand, great book. If you have not read The Stand or watched the series was very good as well. But the book's much better. Book's always better. Love Stephen King as an author. Obviously, I don't like his politics so much. I think he's a little bit out there on that. But, that's okay. But I think he's a great author. A twisted mind. That individual has a seriously twisted mind. But again, those are, in my opinion, those are the most two likely scenarios. Hey, Josh, if we can avoid World War III, it would be amazing. Russia isn't a problem on their own, but China helps. If China helps, it's bad. Russia is fighting a collapsing economy. I think a lot of places, Josh, are fighting a collapsing economy. I'm going to give you an example of something else. Okay, this is a great example. Got a text from Asif. You guys know who Asif is, right? He's our doctor that's in the chat here and there. Great guy, Love this guy, really, really down to earth. I've talked to him a couple times on the phone as well. Try to talk him into joining my group. I'll be honest with you. I've tried to talk him, because that'd be great having a doctor in the group. But anyway, he was saying that now Medicaid and all that is not gone at this point, right? Still there. Everybody has it. He's a pediatrician. Yes. Yep. And he was telling me today, actually, let me read. I'll read this to you guys, okay? Because I don't want to misquote him. All right. So I've been noticing a rate of no-shows or cancellations in the last 2 months at my pediatric clinic. Not sure why, but we have about 30 to 35% Medicaid population in the group practice I'm in. My gut feeling is that as all the office visits and most medications are free with Medicaid, the gas for the car is not free. And with rent, car insurance, etc., rising faster than the speed of sound, they may not have enough money left over for gas to get them to the office appointments. He goes, just a thought. And I said, wow, that's wild. He said, I'm averaging, now listen to this, guys, I'm averaging 4 to 5 no-shows a day. Last year at this same time, I might be seeing 1 no-show per day. So at the same time last year, he had maybe 1 no-show a day. Now he's getting 4 to 5 no-shows a day. That to me, that resonates. That is something I'm like, man, that brings it home. A lot of people are hurting. What do you think about all the UFO hearings that they have been having lately? Well, Alex, like I said, I've always believed in UFOs. I think that it is arrogant of us as human beings to think that we're the only intelligent species in the universe. And how many other universes are out there? Okay, but just even in this universe. So I believe that there have been, a huge amount of UFOs, and it's been going on for a while. And I think they're trying to see what they can do, play it out, and all that type of stuff. So we'll see what happens. But so anyway, I'm going to ask here one more time before we do the egg count. We're a couple of minutes out on the egg count. So if you, we got 315 in the chat, guys. We got 171 thumbs up. I'm going to ask you to shoot a thumbs up if you have not done so, to show support for the channel. Again, it really does make a huge, huge difference with the algorithms. What do you think about an Ebola outbreak hitting the? No, I don't think that's going to be an issue, Alex. I don't think that's going to be an issue. But again, if you are, it really helps with the algorithm. So I thank you for that reason. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I thank you ahead of time. So, but I don't know, but my posts rarely go through. Village Homestead said, well, that's interesting. Oh, yeah. What happened to the drone store? You don't hear about that anymore either. Yeah, exactly. All those drones that people were seeing and didn't know whose they were. And, they've got really, really restrictive with drones. Really restrictive because, a lot of people were getting drones and they've got great cameras on drones now. And people were, doing different things that they probably shouldn't be doing. I mean, I've had drones fly over the property, folks. I've had that happen. So anyway, you want to thank you, JJ. Again, children will play. Children will always play. But on TikTok, most are hoping for some big event to happen because most can't afford to live. Nick, that's. I'll tell you what, being 100% honest, okay, being 100% honest, it's always used to be a small part of me hopes that something would happen. That's gotten to be a bigger percentage for me, that I'm just like, just let's get it on, let's deal with it. It's going to suck no matter what when it happens. The rational part of me goes, I need more time, okay? That's the rational part. The rational part says, yes, we're in pretty good shape here, okay? And if everybody makes it down here, we're going to be okay. But there's a lot more that I would like to have done before the balloon goes up, if you will. Okay. There's a lot more that I would like to have done. So, those are concerns, obviously. Those are huge concerns. So, but yeah, it can't keep going like it's going. It's not sustainable. It's just not sustainable. We can't keep having gas prices, high. We can't keep having food prices continue to go up and up and up. Yeah, there's never enough time. Village Homestead said exactly. That is so true. There is never enough time. But all again, and I've we got to do the egg count, guys. So we'll continue on with this discussion as soon as the egg count is done. So, how many eggs today? And yes or no for Miss Betty White. So I'll give you guys a moment to get your guesses, and we will go from there. Give you guys a moment to get your guesses up. And again, if while you're waiting, if you want to hit that thumbs up, I would appreciate that. Oh, there's Mom. Hold on a second, guys. Ma, I'm doing a live stream right now. I'll give you a call back. I'm done in like about 15 minutes, okay? All right, love you. Bye. All right, sorry, guys. I could tell her every day that I'm going to do a live stream that day, and a lot of times she'll just call, and that's okay. So I always got to take that call. So, all right. A little, is it legal to shoot down a drone out of the sky? No, Mary Taylor, it's not legal to do so. Um, you could be shooting at a bird and accidentally hit a drone. That could happen. I mean, it wasn't intentional. You didn't mean to shoot it. But yeah, it's just, that's what double aught buckshot's for. Accidents happen. Whoops. So, anyway, today's egg count, a little bit different. I'm going to show you. Now, Mary Taylor said 3 eggs, and yes for Miss Betty White. Okay. Which is the true number of eggs I got today, was 3 eggs. But one of the eggs today was a pullet egg. This is my first pullet egg. So very soon, this is the first one I've gotten. When I saw it in there, guys, I was so excited. I was like, yes. So yeah, there's the first pullet egg. So I kept Miss Betty White's egg to show you the size difference. They are starting to lay. Well, one of them is out of the new 9 hens. So pretty soon we're going to have a lot more eggs coming in. So I'm really, really excited about that. So yeah, so technically Mary Taylor is the winner. So congratulations to Mary Taylor. You've won absolutely nothing. Yeah, shooting down a drone is taking down an aircraft. Right. Yeah, you can get big trouble for it. Big trouble for it. But they call it a pullet egg because you have to pull it out of the chicken. Well, again, it's funny because when they first start to lay, they lay these little bitty eggs. And then eventually the eggs get normal size as they continue to lay. But I always liked the pullet eggs. I always thought that they were neat. So yeah, we got our first new egg from the chickens. As they start laying more, then obviously we're going to have an interesting egg count. But I was excited today to share that with you guys that we got our first pullet egg from the new hens. So, like I said, they've integrated into the flock really well now. They're all doing good. So that's awesome. But is there a taste difference? Nope, not at all, Nick. It's just that they're smaller because they're just starting out. Oh yeah, I'm gonna eat it. Yep. Mary Taylor says I beat JJ or DJ. Yeah, exactly, Mary. Exactly. So, but yeah, it's I'm excited to finally start getting some eggs, and we'll see how that continues to go. So, but all right. So, getting back to what we were talking about, um, and if I can remember what we were talking about, the cats are right here, Larry. Cats are doing good. I actually had one of them up on top of me earlier, and here, I'll grab one. Hold on a second. Her little motor is running. There's Miss Bonnie. She's a good girl. She's a good girl. So, no, they're really good cats. Really, really good. They got good personalities. And how many chickens do I have now? Well, with the 9 new hens, I have 14 hens, and I have one rooster. So I have 15 altogether. So as soon as everybody starts laying, we'll have obviously more interesting egg counts. Mary Taylor says, I really want Clyde. Clyde is awesome. Nobody's getting Clyde. When Danny showed me the cats, and he says, yeah, this cat had, kittens. Did you want? So I ended up taking 2. But the first one I saw was Clyde. And I'm like, I want the orange one. I had my Maxie for 15 years. Max was a great cat. And he was a gay cat, but he was cool. He was a good cat. And yes, animals can, it's all across the animal kingdom. 70% heterosexual, 20% bisexual, 10% gay. This is the way it is across the entire animal kingdom. And Max was gay. he was a great cat though. Really, he was a loving, super, super good cat. What do you think about the Yellowstone volcanic eruption? That's going to happen, Alex. It's a matter of when, not if. And we gotta really hope that it doesn't happen in our lifetime because that's a world changer. A Yellowstone event is a world changer. I'm going to tell you what. Why do you think? I want you to think about something, guys. There are bunkers, government bunkers, all over the place. All right, under the Greenbrier here in West Virginia, they had that bunker that was, very quiet, very hidden underneath that restaurant and hotel. And, people didn't know there was a bunker underneath there. Okay. And that was going to be for 2,000 people for 3 months. So, they have places all over the place that you have no idea, Oh, I was talking about things being unsustainable, and can't lasting forever. Yeah, we'll get back. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate that. We'll get right on back on that. But yeah, they have places all over the place, and it ain't for you and me. It's for the certain people that they want to save. So again, when I tell you we got to watch out for ourselves because they're not going to watch out for us, we got to watch out for ourselves. So, but again, I was talking about things not being sustainable. You look at the cost of food, guys, and I've been preaching buy food, buy food, buy food forever and a day. I have. Anybody that's watched this channel knows I've been preaching that song for years. Because, as I said before, and as I will say again today, food is never going to be as cheap as it is right now. So if you can get stocked up, get stocked up, it's just, you have to, you just have, you do the best that you can. What are we talking about here? I don't even know what he's going on about. Nick said, "Yeah, I got 4 kids and we're barely making it. To be honest, I get it, man. It's not easy. It is not easy, and I understand it. And it's a very, very difficult thing. 80K man saying food, water, filtering, shelter, security, and power needs. Exactly. There's a big old laundry list of things. You left out medical supplies, 80K man. Come on now. You know better than that. Because he's a EMT. I can't believe you didn't say medical. But again, there is so much that honestly to try to do, it's insane to think about. It's very important to do the best that you can do. Okay, it's we do what best you can do. I take medication myself. That Alex says there's a lot of people that are on meds. And if you're not actively trying to figure what you know alternatives and other ways to get what you need to get for medication, that could be a game changer too. So it's crazy when you think about things the way things are right now. It's oh, they don't teach any of that. Goblin Grunge said they don't teach financial responsibility or ET awareness in school. Yeah, well, of course we're not going to teach that, but yeah, they don't teach you that anymore. Balancing a checkbook, any of that type of stuff, any of it. So crazy world, folks. Crazy, crazy world. Like I said, just continue to do the best that you can. That's all we can do. That's all any of us can do. Do the best you can. Prepare the best way that you can. Like this weekend is our weekend get together coming up. Here at the Homestead, and we're going to make more progress in the pavilion. We're going to make more progress on the shower room. Those are the two priorities right now that we're going to be working on. And we got a bunch of other stuff that we want to take care of, and people want to have individual product or projects that they want to do as well, which I get it. I totally get it. So it's there's a lot. Where do you think all the recalled food is going? Peggy said. That's a good question. That's actually a good question. Like I said, I do believe that the powers that be know something's coming, and I think they're getting ready for it. And when it happens, they'll go to ground and ride it out and let us all kill each other up here on top. So that's what they're going to do. And those of us that are here, hopefully will maintain some kind of civility. I think it's going to be very difficult. But like I said, and I've said it before, if you're not in a group or you're not part of a group, you're going to be in big trouble when things happen. I think it's really, really important, and I've preached that for a long time too. And, you keep watching what we're doing. We're going to continue to make our progress and do what we have to do. And whatever the government is doing, it's working. Just look at all the fear comments people are making and asking. Oh, I understand it. Yeah. You got to understand, the powers that be want us to be afraid. They want us to be scared. They want us to be terrified. It's easier to control us. When you take your power, okay, in your own hands, prepping is a lot of things, guys. Prepping is a lot of things. But one of the most important things about prepping is peace of mind, in my opinion. I'm giving you my opinion. If I'm as ready as I can be, and when things pop off, there's always going to be things that I go, crap, I should have did this, I should have done that, I should have done the other thing, okay? There's always going to be that. But as long as I am steadily working towards the goal, and we're doing the best that we can, and when things pop off, we will survive, and that's what it's about. Yeah, 80K Man says control your controllables. What you can control, take care of those things. You can take care of putting up food, water, getting your shelter squared away, all those type of stuffs. Making sure that you have medical supplies, making sure that you have plenty of warm clothing, especially if you live in the Northeast. All those things. So, and I was raised in a military home and was told that the future would be before it happened, and it was all correct. Well, it's not a surprise. It's not a surprise, Delver. Guys, I'm going to leave you on my favorite saying, okay? STD, step, thing, and day. Whatever you are trying to do in life, whatever you are trying to accomplish, it doesn't have to be about living off grid. It doesn't have to be about prepping. It is whatever you are trying to do to make your life better, okay? One step at a time, one thing at a time and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, as long as you set realistic goals that you can meet, and then you are working towards those goals, they will happen. Okay? They will happen. We will finish that pavilion before the snow flies. That's not a maybe, I hope. We will. Okay? Hopefully, and then the shower room is going to be the secondary thing. Hopefully, we get that squared away as well before the snow flies. We will see. But work methodically at things, guys. Take care of your business. Be calm. Don't panic. Panic is the enemy. Fear can also be the enemy. You have to control the controllables, as 80K Man says. I hope you all have a great night. I will see you all in the next one. I should be live streaming. I'm not sure, probably Friday. I will let you know. Okay. If it's not Friday, it'll be Saturday, because I know I have Saturday and Sunday off. So I will let you guys know. Okay. I will talk to you later. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.